You ever notice that the ones God chooses often feel like the least likely to lead? They don't come from perfect homes. They don't have picture-perfect pasts. They weren't the most popular, the loudest, or the ones with the perfect resume. But somehow, they're the ones heaven taps on the shoulder when it's time to shift the atmosphere. Why? Because God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And when he calls a warrior, he doesn't look at outward strength. He looks at surrender. He doesn't check your bank account. He checks your heart. He doesn't need perfection. He needs obedience. You've been through too much to be average. There's too much oil on your life to play small. You didn't survive what you survived just to sit quietly in the back row of your destiny. You were forged in fire for the front lines. And yes, the anointing feels heavy sometimes. You ever feel that? That ache in your spirit, like something deeper is being birthed? That resistance in your life, like the enemy knows you're about to become dangerous. It's not your imagination, it's warfare. Because anything that carries kingdom weight will attract hell's attention. But listen closely. You're not just chosen to survive battles. You're chosen to win them. You're not just covered, you're clothed in power. You've been through the pit, the betrayal, the doubt, the shame, and still came out with a praise. You've been lied on, counted out, and misunderstood, and still chose to bless others. You've had days where your mind felt like a battlefield, but somehow your faith still showed up. That's not weakness, that's warrior strength. And now, God's calling that warrior to the surface. You can't stay hidden, you can't stay silent. You can't keep minimizing what heaven maximized in you. It's time to move like someone who knows who sent them. Men of God, I see you. We see you. You've been taught to be strong, but not how to be whole. You've carried the weight for your family, for your past, for your pride, and still showed up. But this next move, it's not about proving your strength. It's about surrendering your heart. Your legacy needs your healing. Your house needs your intercession. Your community needs your leadership. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. The mantle is on you. Walk like it. Women of God, I see you too. You've had to be the nurturer and the warrior at the same time. You've wiped tears no one saw. You've carried burdens no one acknowledged. You've prayed for people who wouldn't even pray for you, but God saw, and He's raising you up, not just to carry others, but to stand in authority. You're not just a woman. You are a strategic weapon in the kingdom. Your womb births life, in the natural and in the spirit. Your voice breaks strongholds. Your tears water generations. Your praise confuses hell. You don't need permission. You were born for this. And together, man and woman side by side, we are rising as a remnant that refuses to bow. Not to culture, not to fear, not to lukewarm religion, but to the voice of God, who is calling His warriors out of the shadows and into the battle. Let me tell you something the enemy doesn't want you to hear. You've already won, because the one who called you never loses. So this heaviness, it's not punishment. It's preparation. This pressure, it's not crushing, it's commissioning. You're being equipped for something greater. That restlessness in your spirit, that's your anointing waking up. That tiredness, that's confirmation you've been carrying something holy. So take heart. This is not the time to shrink, not the time to fall back, not the time to wonder if you're worthy. You were handpicked by heaven to show this generation what kingdom looks like in real time. You're not just a believer, you're a builder, not just a churchgoer, a chainbreaker, not just a worshipper, a warrior. So rise up, fix your posture, square your shoulders, lift your voice, reclaim your identity, because this generation doesn't need more perfection, it needs more power. And that power, it's already in you. You were built for this, for the fire, for the front lines, for such a time as this. You are a walking answer to someone's silent prayer. You are a storm in the spirit. You are a lighthouse in the dark. You are a weapon in the hands of God. Don't underestimate what's inside you. Don't apologize for the authority you carry. Don't wait for someone to validate what God already confirmed. Warrior, this is your time. No more delay, no more doubt, no more dimming your light to fit into rooms God called you to lead. You are chosen, you are set apart, you are armed and dangerous in the spirit. Drop this in the comments if you know you were born for the battlefield. I'm God's warrior, built for fire and chosen for victory. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to stay in the fire with us. This is Bytes News, where faith meets fire and revival is our lifestyle. Team Jesus, let's ride.